Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend to not even breathe in front of my daughter's mother? That's hard. Okay. I'm 27. I have a 4-year-old daughter. She was conceived through a hookup. I have full custody of her, as her mother did not want a kid. She does visit maybe once a month as a friend, so your daughter doesn't know that it's her actual mother. I will always be grateful to her for bringing my daughter into the world. That's a good take to have. I'm not rich, but I'm lucky and privileged to not be on the breadline either. With that in mind, I never asked my daughter's mother for maintenance. That's fair enough. I've been with my girlfriend for about a year and a half. We recently moved together. My daughter's mother came over to mine to visit a few days ago. My daughter and I were running a bit late, so my girlfriend and she were talking. My girlfriend told my daughter's mother how she finds it so selfish that my daughter's mother wouldn't step up and be a mother. She also said she should at least be paying me maintenance and that she's taking advantage of me. Both had the same story. My girlfriend unashamedly admitted to it. I explained to my girlfriend a few times how the dynamic works, so I was pretty annoyed. She said I was being a pushover. I said she shouldn't even breathe in front of my daughter's mother if she can be respectful. I meant it figuratively. I meant it in a don't say word to her. She says I'm being controlling and abusive to her by suggesting she should stop breathing. Okay. I'm autistic and I got that. By that I'm saying I take things quite literally. She wanted me to apologize to her. I explained what I meant. I said I'm sorry if what I said offended her. She said it wasn't a real apology and that I was gaslighting her. My Diego. Well, the apology was shitty, yeah, but also it's not her business to interfere with what you have, what kind of relationship and system you developed with mother of your child. I don't think you were a-hole. A little bit. But the apology was shitty. It is the kind of apology that is not an apology. I never say that if I offended her or and all that. It's not the best. Let's see what people say. Not the a-hole, and I think this relationship has to ruin its cause. Find a woman who can respect your daughter's mother's role in her life and who respects you enough to respect your very reasonable boundaries. The way your girlfriend is trying to flip the semantics around so she can be right speaks to her lack of maturity. In the world of several billion people, I promise you there is someone who is a better fit for you. Oh, yeah, that's a Reddit thing. They always like, just scrap her, get somebody new. It's still a fresh relationship, isn't it? How long you've been together? From like a year and a half? Yeah, year and a half. It might be just something that she genuinely believes that you're doing. And I think she maybe needs the clarification that you don't feel used, or you're not used, you're happy with the arrangement because you can't have a relationship with your daughter and that shouldn't be bothering you. Bothering her. You know, I'm quoting as you were speaking to her. Let's see what else people are saying. So somebody here says here, some of these responses are funny to me. There are so many pro-lifers that push that if the mom doesn't want the child or isn't ready, that she should have the option to give it to the father if he wants it. You two found a process that works for you. There's no shame or harm in it all if the child is loved and cared for. Your girlfriend was inappropriate and out of line. You maybe shouldn't have used "don't breathe" around her, but I can't imagine you dating an idiot that honestly believed you were telling her to suffocate. She's being obtuse to play the victim better. Apologize to word choice, but otherwise you're not wrong. It wasn't her place and she should have kept that shit to herself. Yeah, I agree. It's not for you to decide. And yeah, people are always so pro-life and everything, but whole responsibility is with the mother. But what if the mother doesn't want a child and the father does? So, and I find it like so harsh on men, especially because for women it's so much easier to get the custody of the child, and fathers have to fight harder because we've got that ingrained in a woman's genes that, you know, she's the provider, she's the mother, she wants to be the one who's nurturing the child. But it's not always the case. Sometimes it's just the father who wants the child, and if he wants to take care of it, why not? And it shouldn't be a double standard that mother gets the priority over the father. So I think that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'm agreeing with everybody. I don't think you were an a-hole. Let's try another story. Am I the a-hole for telling my boyfriend he either needs to find a new roommate or we're breaking up? Not a big fan of ultimatums. Why do we always have to choose and prioritize one thing over the other or one person by the other? But let's not jump to conclusions. Let's see what OP has to say. I, 26 female, have been dating my boyfriend Jacob, 25 male, for a little over a year. He's amazing and this relationship has been fantastic. I've never had any reasons to doubt him and I trust him fully. After this incident, I still trust him, I just don't trust his friend. I think I might know where that could be going, but again, if you trust him and you don't trust her, that's fine. You know, in this case, minus and plus doesn't make it minus. It makes it plus. You should always trust your partner. Well, let's see. He lives with his best friend Olivia. There we go, it's a female. 25 female, who he has known since they were young. Honestly, Olivia has been nothing but kind to me up until this point. So what's changed? She's a little harsh and rough around the edges, but she's been really nice. She has even defended me and called out other people who are being rude to me, which is what makes this so much more complicated. What have you done? Why is Olivia not being friendly with you anymore? So in their apartment, they usually come inside from the back door because the parking spaces are there. The back door leads into a small room with a washer and dryer, which leads into the kitchen, then living room. Jacob and Olivia both work during the day and their days off change every week. Okay, shift work. They have shared calendar in the kitchen to keep each other posted. This was weird to me at first, but Jacob had told me it was just a courtesy thing so that each person could plan, have privacy, whatever. Why do you find it strange? I think it's reasonable. So it seems like they're only working during the day. They don't do night shifts, so they don't have to be mindful at night. Yeah, they work days. That's what he says. Still, yeah, they're young. You're in 20s. You might want some privacy. Maybe want to invite somebody over and don't want your roommate being around. Or maybe you just want to walk around naked without walking on your friend. Who knows? You never know. This brings us to the actual incident that started all of this. Jacob switched his shift so that we could see each other. We were just hanging out at his house. We were on the couch in the living room, which he honestly don't do often. But we were just talking. We hear the back door and Jacob says, "Oh, Olivia's here," pretty loudly, and we just got back to talking. Okay, you have to announce her. We hear her come in. No noise is made for a moment before she makes a dramatic sigh and starts talking. She's complaining about how tired she is, talking full volume like she's talking to another person. After a minute, she walks in and she's literally naked, except underwear. What did I just say? I promise you I didn't read that story. Oh man. Her and I make eye contact. She screams. She freezes. Then after like 10 seconds, she finally jumps back into the kitchen. So what? She didn't hear Jacob when he shouted, "Hey, I'm here"? So clearly he must have known that she likes to wear almost nothing around the house when no one's there. That's why he shouted. or not? Let's see. She's embarrassed at first, then she literally says, I didn't know you'd be here. I say something like, so you just walk around naked when I'm not here? And then she got mad. She said, I didn't know anyone would be here. Relax. Jacob tells us both to calm down, that it was an accident. Then Olivia asks if we can close our eyes or something so that she can get to her bedroom. I ask her where her clothes are, and she told me she just put them in the washing machine. I ask why she couldn't put them back on, and she stutters before she says she already put the powder over them. Yeah, well, come on, just let her go upstairs and just put the new clothes on. She goes to her room, comes out like 30 minutes later with a laundry basket, starts laundry, mutters an apology, then goes back to her room. She wouldn't look at me the whole time. Well, no wonder she just walked in on you in the underwear when you were there sat with your boyfriend who is her roommate. She probably didn't want him to see her in this attire either. But okay. Later that night, I brought it up to Jacob. He laughed and said, yeah, that was embarrassing. Like, he was completely dismissive of the fact that it was weird. Why? Why was it weird? I love to walk naked around my house. And yeah, obviously, well, according to her story, obviously she didn't know that anybody will be around. So yeah, I don't see the issue, but yeah, let's carry on reading. I brought up that she should have known she wasn't going to be alone because they have a shared calendar. And he says he might not have changed that. He was not working today. So it made sense. Then I brought up that she said, I didn't know you'd be here because I felt like she was talking to me specifically. And he says that was meant for both of us. Then I mentioned that she was talking out loud. And he says she talks to herself all the time. Yeah, all plausible. I talk to myself all the time out loud. I promise you, it's a thing. But yeah, I get it. If I were you, I would feel uncomfortable, probably. Especially if I maybe seen some signs before that she might have some feelings for my partner. But yeah, let's carry on. He kept being really dismissive and he kept telling me that this was just a simple mistake. Like everything I brought up, he had an excuse for. Yeah, quite logical ones. After a few minutes of arguing, he said, completely unprompted, I'm not into her. She's not into me. We're not sleeping together. There's nothing going on. I think he was just probably waiting on them. He said it unprompted because you were drilling that topic for so long, and he probably has a little bit of a delay response to it. He maybe had to mull it over, thinking why you hung up on this. And then maybe only then you came to realization, oh, she might be jealous. Well, like you. That could be the thing. I didn't accuse him of any of that at that point, so it made me even more nervous. Yeah, but that was implied. Let's not play fools here, and that, you know, why you were asking all those questions and why you were uncomfortable with that, right? You didn't maybe said it out loud, but that's implied. The argument escalated from there. I accused him of cheating honestly, and I ended up just leaving. Well, there we go. I'm still upset. My thing is, who does that? Who takes off their clothes knowing full well they have roommates who might be home and walks through the house naked? Well, that's why they've got that bloody schedule. That's why they've got that calendar. For that reason, and probably any others, that she can have that privacy and feel like she can be completely free. So that's that kind of people who do that. And Jacob just kept making excuses. Yeah, quite logical ones. He said that he does that. She didn't know anyone was home. It was an honest mistake. She's going through a lot, so she's being lazy. Like, he just kept making excuses for it. He even texted me yesterday morning saying he talked to her about it and it won't happen again. And she texted me apologizing. I didn't respond to her, but I texted him saying that I was no longer comfortable with him there and he needed to find a new roommate or move out, unless he wanted to end this relationship. We argued a little and that's all the update I have. Bottom line, it made me uncomfortable and I think she should respect that. I don't know what her intentions were with that, and honestly I don't think I even care. That's what's weird behavior on her part regardless. That was a weird behaviour. I don't know. I used to have roommates, but I was lucky enough to live with men. And all of them pretty much had their own partners, and we never had that kind of drama. So it is hard for me to see this from your position, but yes, I see where you're coming from. Saying that and completely contradicting myself. I do understand where you're coming from. Did your boyfriend ever give you any reasons to think otherwise, that he can't be trusted? Or her friend for that matter? Is it worth fighting over? It could be really an honest mistake. Just count it as a straight one and see how the things go, because I don't think giving anybody ultimatums ever in something that they especially don't regard as something so important is right. I think the most important thing would be for you to tell him how you really feel and how that made you feel, rather than sitting there and trying to interrogate him or passing judgment on his flatmate or roommate. I think that would be more mature approach, rather than just, going into it. I know lots of things are being implied there, but even with the fact when I pointed out that you were asking lots of questions, and he then blurted out that saying there's nothing going on between them, and he came back saying, well, but I didn't even accuse him about of anything. That was implied, and that's what's happening now. You're implying lots of things there rather than having like a real good conversation to explain where you're coming from. I think you should give it a chance and another strike, see how the things go, and then maybe then discuss options of him moving out from there or roommate finding a new place. Let's see what the Reddit says. I didn't see if there was a verdict done yet. Now again, it's a very fresh story. At the time I'm recording it, on the 21st of November, it was just posted 59 minutes ago. So let's see what comments we already got, because there are some. So first one, asking your partner to move because the roommate was naked when they thought they were home alone isn't reasonable. You either trust him or you don't. That. And it sure doesn't sound like you do. So that is the real issue. You are the a-hole. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Another comment, I understand being comfortable, but if he's seen her in a bikini, or if anyone has, they've basically seen her in her underwear. True that. You express how you feel, but also need to acknowledge an honest mistake. Well, I don't think she really did explain exactly how she felt. She was just really asking lots of questions. As long as the boundary isn't continuously crossed, that's why I said, give them another chance. I'd take it with a grain of salt, girl. And personally, I'd reply to her, you don't want to have a bad blood with someone who definitely didn't mean any harm. I hope you learn to be a bit more understanding and trusting. I'm just scrolling through the comments and lots of them are the same. So, like, just agreeing that you're the a-hole, and there's one quite extensive where somebody just says, yes, I'm a bit iffy on this. I think the reason why he blurred out I'm not into her, she's not into me, bet is because you kept pressing him on the matter. In a way, it was prompted. Your constant questioning was basically insinuating as much, so you can't really blame the guy for reaching that conclusion on his own. Yeah, I'm gonna clap to that. Yeah, completely agree. So yeah, unfortunately, I think you are the a-hole. Well, you're only 26, right? Yeah, 26 is still young. And I know it can feel a bit strange, and you might not be comfortable with what you just faced, but things happen. It's not a big deal. Just have a conversation, honest conversation with your partner. Tell him exactly how you felt, why you felt the way you felt. Always start conversations like this from this place, how something made you feel, rather than insinuating something. But yeah, bye.